A warm welcome to everyone who has joined us today. My name is Edward from the Regional Brands and Communications Department, and I'm your MC for today. Before we start, please take a short moment to read the following guidelines. Today, our topic for the webinar is about how to choose the right POS printer for your business, which will be presented by our speakers, Ms. Samantha Sim, the Regional Product Manager, and Mr. Teo Chicken, our Regional Engineer for POS printers here in the Epson Southeast Asia headquarters. Now, let's take a look at the agenda for today. First, we'll talk about the POS printer market trends. Next, we'll walk you through in details what users should look out for when selecting the ideal POS printer to fit their business needs. We will then answer some frequently asked questions from the region about our POS printers. And finally, we'll wrap up with a live Q&A session. If you have any questions during the webinar, feel free to type them into the chat window and we'll answer them as soon as we can. By the end of our webinar today, we hope you will be able to bring home deeper knowledge on what makes for a good POS printer and certain details that you may not have realized that will make a world of difference in the user experience. And with that, I will hand over to Samantha, who will kickstart this session. Samantha, please.
A big welcome to all of you here today. Thank you for joining us. Let's dive right into the webinar. We first begin with the POS printer market trend. Have you ever had a meal at a restaurant or a cafe and upon requesting for the bill, the waiter brings with them a handheld device to your table and processes your payment immediately? You do not need to wait for the waiter to bring your credit card back to the cashier, process the payment, and return to your table with your receipt. This is perhaps the best example of how POS or point-of-sale systems have evolved throughout the years. We see shifts to tableside ordering and payment and a steady adoption of online ordering and delivery, even more so in today's context of the ongoing pandemic. Let's travel to the 1800s, where orders were simply taken with just a pencil and a paper. Evolution began in the 1880s, where American shopkeeper James Ritty invented what is known today as the cash register, which could track cash transactions to solve his problem of employee theft. Electronic cash registers then came in the early 1900s, and in the 1980s we start to see PC POS setups, which essentially comprise of a cash drawer, a computer, a software, and a POS printer. The electronic point of sale has now become the norm. Business owners no longer rely on bulky metal drawers to manage their operations. Today, we see a wide variety of POS types, from traditional consoles to thin and sleek mobile phone devices that enhance customers' experiences. And the latest trending, cloud or web-based POS, where payments are processed through the internet. You can see this being adopted today, such as Foodpanda and Grab Kitchen, just to name a few. As you earlier saw with the evolution of POS, Epson's range of printers move with the trend, catering to the market demands of today. We have thermal printers for traditional POS setups, MPOS, also known as mobile point-of-sale printers, portable printers for outdoor environments, and our cloud-enabled printers, also known as our Intelligence series. We provide solutions enriching experiences from start to finish. Now let's take a look at the Southeast Asia POS printer market today. The diagram on the left shows the latest ASEAN market share for year 2020. Holding 30% of market share, we are proud to say, despite the economic downturn in the face of this pandemic, Epson once again holds the #1 brand of POS receipt printers for 12 years running in ASEAN. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you esteemed partners and distributors for the strong support thus far, as you play a major part in contributing to Epson's ongoing success. With that said, the other crucial factor to our success is having a strong product that is adaptable to user needs. Imagine you're a new business owner looking to purchase receipt printers for your business needs. Or you might even be an existing owner that would like to refresh and update your receipt printers to improve efficiency and enhance your operational experience. There are so many printers and brands in the market. How do you identify what exactly should you look for in a POS printer? Having the best-selling POS printers, we lead the industry with easy-to-use features, fast printing speeds, and superior reliability. Today, we will look specifically at our entry thermal model, which helms the bulk of POS printers' market demand, and show you some comparisons and what users should keep in mind for their next POS printer purchase. Let's find out. Designing radically user-centric experiences. The design is not only about the product, it's also about people who use it. Designed to last. Now what you're seeing, and in the following slides to come, are comparisons of how Epson's entry thermal printers compare against other competitors' low-cost printers. On the left shows the internal body of a competitor printer. If you notice, it is widely exposed with no form of circuit board protection. This makes for less durability. If you see Epson's printer on the right, it has a built-in metal chassis for added protection, making it more durable and less susceptible to accidental contact. Next, ease of operations. To the left, we see competitor printers have their operational buttons located at inconspicuous places such as the side or rear panel. This makes for difficult access when the printer is placed in a location with physical hindrances. As for Epson, we see a more operationally friendly setup with operational buttons located at the front. Thus, it can be placed at any location without concern. Now let's take a look at a short clip to see how easy it is to operate Epson's printers. As you can see, our printers have easy access front controls and our top cover opens wide, enabling for fuss-free paper loading too. Next, operationally safe. To the left, we see the competitor's printer with an exposed manual cutter. Users might be prone to cuts during pickup of the receipt. Epson, on the other hand, features a concealed manual cutter, significantly reduces risk of accidental cuts. Next, let's have a quick look at the ergonomics. If you hold a competitor printer, take a look at the base. You may realize they only have 2 rubber footings, where Epson's printer offers more stability with 4 rubber footings, making it better in withstanding knocks and minimizing drops. Adding on to the ergonomics is the cable lock mechanism. Without a cable lock mechanism, the setup not only has tendency for entanglement, but also the cables are prone to getting disconnected from the printer with a simple pull. You might then ask, I can just simply buy a wire or a cable organizer clip that costs little to nothing, right? Well, yes, that might help, but that only organizes your cables. With Epson's cable lock mechanism, it not only makes for good cable management, but notice this white mechanism over here is an extension from the printer. When you secure your cables into this mechanism, this ensures your cable's connection points are plugged in well with little to no chance for disconnection, even if someone accidentally tugs or steps on the cable. Again, this is because of the mechanism being joined to the printer and won't sway freely. My last point on design, user-friendliness. For competitor printers, you do not see any instructions at the underside of the cover, whereas Epson printers have clear indicators showing you how to load the receipt in the correct direction to ensure the thermal coating surface is aligned correctly, making for smooth operation. Alright, we are done with the design aspect. Now, let's talk about the most important factor, reliability. A brand you can trust. We don't just talk the talk, we walk the talk. Now, you want to choose a reliable brand. Information that's shown on advertisements, websites, spec sheets, are they true to what is stated? Are there any hidden information that may not have been shown? Let's find out now. Here, we have the general printer specifications for Epson's TM-T82X and competitor models of the same class. First, if you notice in the blue outline box, we can already see that some competitor brands do not show full information, such as the mean time between failure and mean cycles before failure. You will want to ensure to go with a brand that is transparent with details. Next, let's look through the written specifications for each printer. You can see that spec-wise in the market, we are at a speed of 200 mm per second with comparable specifications of printhead life and cutter life. Here you may wonder, why are you showing me this when Epson is clearly slower than competitor brands? Now let's stop to think, How true is the information shown on paper? Here, we are going to show you a print speed comparison video between Epson versus low-cost competitor printers. Epson's printers being advertised at 200 mm per second versus the two other competitors who have both advertised at a higher speed of 250 mm per second and above. We send the same data to all three printers. Let's watch what happens. In case you just missed it, let's have a look at the video again. Consumer might have the belief that this printer can print at above 250 mm per second. However, in reality, this might not be true. Competitors' printer took a longer duration to complete their printing process compared to Epson's. In reality, Epson is faster despite competitors advertising a higher printing speed of above 250 mm per second. This shows that here at Epson, we hold true to our numbers. Next, security. To the left, notice that the low-cost competitor printers do not have any SSL or TLS support and password protection. Whereas all Epson network printers come with SSL or TLS support, allowing users to send data to the printer securely with end-to-end encryption. Now this is crucial, especially when your receipt or printout contains sensitive information such as membership ID, contacts, and so on. Another point to note is that Epson's web configuration requires a password to connect before allowing admin to change printer IP or network settings. Now imagine someone who connects to the restaurant's free Wi-Fi and happens to have access to printers' IP addresses without password. They can easily modify anything in the printer and could cause mishappenings to kitchen operations. When connecting to Epson's network printers, a password is always required to go into the setting page. This will allow for some form of protection from unauthorized adjustment of printer network address and avoid security issues during operation. And with this last point of brand reliability, I'd like to invite Chicken, who will continue to explain the rest of the details to look out for in choosing a printer brand. Chicken, please.
Thank you, Samantha. Hi, I'm Chicken. I'd like to continue on the third point, advanced features that go the distance. Our goal is not only to meet your expectation, but to exceed them. We went further to develop advanced tools and features that help developers and system integrators integrate their solution easily. Let's take a deeper look into what Epson can offer in terms of integrations. First, paper-saving function. Here, we are going to show you a paper-saving comparison video between Epson versus competitor low-cost printer. Let's watch. As you can see from the video, the competitor's printer had no paper reduction features, resulting in higher paper consumption. So even though low-cost printers may have a lower initial cost, what you may not realize is that the operational cost may be possibly much higher than the printer price in the long run. As compared to Epson printers, with the help of paper reduction, our printer can save approximately 30% per receipt. Long term, this helps to reduce paper costs, making your investment all the more worthy. Next, let us take a look further at what Epson can offer besides hardware and firmware features. In Epson, we focus on every single detail that will make your job easier. We have provided drivers that support multiple platforms, which includes Mac, Java POS, and mobile, where competitors only support basic platforms. So, users do not need to worry what platform you plan to use. There is always a solution from Epson. Not only that, We know the pain of developers as we are also developers in some way. Thus, we want to make the process of integrations easier for our customers. Every single driver's SDKs, tools we provide to you, it always comes with a sample program which guides you to integrate our printer with your system step by step. Moreover, clean, easy to navigate documentation is basic need for every developers and engineers. We also provide you a very comprehensive and detailed documentation. Navigate to your desired section is just a click away. Save your time from searching all the YouTube's tutorials. We have another special feature called the Windows driver font replacement, which come in handy for improving printer performance. For most Windows drivers, the font from your PC application are sent to printer as image data. Therefore, it requires a huge amount of data to be transferred per receipt, reducing the printer performance and speed. By replacing printer 2 font with printer fonts, data sent to printer will be replaced with text data instead of images, thus reducing the amount of data to be transferred and improve the speed. The same concept can be applied for barcode and QR code printing, which uses printer firmware for encoding, thus producing a better barcode and QR code. Customers may complain of slow speeds, especially when they are using legacy serial cables. Well, we can solve this easily by activating these features. Next, I will share with you with POS integration. Epson POS driver come with many settings which provide integrator with great flexibilities to configure their POS system. Some low-cost printers, POS driver is too simple. It is easy to use, but when you want to configure certain settings, it becomes a nightmare. The Epson POS driver also support additional peripherals such as line display. Low-cost printer POS driver didn't provide any logging mechanism, which make debugging difficult. Hope you have a better understanding on how easy to integrate your solution with Epson printers. Next, we will move into the next topic, which is ease of deployment. Most of the time, system integrator may not use the default printer settings to serve all their customers. Some may have a different paper width, some may use different print speed and density, some may have a different language settings, such as Thai, Vietnamese, or Chinese. Imagine if you need to roll out 500 pieces of printers to your big customers. There will be a lot of manual work to set the printer settings, isn't it? Epson utility tools and deployment tools allow you to save the printer settings as a backup file. By reusing this same file, we can copy the settings to other printers in batches easily with deployment tools. This will reduce your effort and manpower to adjust the setting manually. Next, we will share more about our professional pre- and post-sale support activities because we believe we will be there for you every step of the way. Epson have a strong pre-sales team who can provide quality technical support readily to you. Our customization team in the region is able to help you to customize printer firmware and driver that serve your special needs. Feel free to talk to us for any idea or questions that you have. Our teams will be able to provide you a proof of concept so that you don't have to commit a huge investment without any feasibility studies. Not only that, we also conducted regular tech updates to share with you our latest technology and trends in the market. It is our commitment to have regular training and workshop to share knowledge and help upskill your team of engineers as well. Some of you may have gone through frustration to send the printer back to the origin countries for repair or replacement. Do not worry. Epson offers localized service within your vicinity with a wide support network across the region, which will give you a peace of mind. Today, we have a total of more than 700 service partners across Southeast Asia. We are committed to support you whenever you are. With that, I have ended my sharing on the advanced features and services offered by Epson. Thank you. Back to you, Samantha.
Thank you, Chicken. As we end our presentation, we'd like to sum up a quick overview of what we have talked about so far. With Epson, we take pride in design, brand reliability, advanced features, and all-rounded support. Delivering innovative, cost-effective solutions to allow your business to run more efficiently. With Epson, details make all the difference in user experience. When it comes to your business and your customers, continuously seeking and finding new ways of adding value is our top priority. Details matter, no matter how small. After all, they're the fundamentals of your business, your vision. Thank you.
Hi everyone. We'll now move on to some of the more commonly asked questions from the region. For our first question, we see low-cost brand competitors at a cheaper price with one-to-one replacement when faulty. For the price of your printer, I can buy two of competitors' printer. So for this very first question, maybe we have Miss Samantha to answer it.
Thank you, Edward. Yes, we hear you. Dollar values literally count. But we urge you to look at the total cost of ownership involved. Consider the increased frequency of downtime that you might face with low-cost branded printers. Then your operation efficiency might be hindered, your customer service might be affected, and also it might even indirectly affect your business reputation. So another thing is brand reliability. That's another factor, which was what we presented earlier. You want to go with a brand that is true to our word and that you can trust. Furthermore, having our technical know-how, we can help you with customization needs as and when, before and after sales support, for which most low-cost printers, such supports might be limited.
Thank you, Samantha. Now we move on to our second question. Why does the product design look like a low-cost printer? Samantha, please.
That's a good question, Edward. As the market leaders of POS receipt printers, it's no surprise that low-cost printers will probably emulate or follow our designs. However, as shared in this webinar, this cannot compensate for the type of quality and product performance or details that Epson looks into. Nevertheless, we constantly are on the lookout to improve our products with your feedback, and we'll look into the design aspect for their successor model.
Thank you. Now for our third question, can our POS printer be integrated with a kiosk? Samantha?
Our thermal POS printers were designed for desktop printing, which are mostly top-load positioning. However, you can consider the TM-M30 and the TM-T82-3 series, which supports front-load positioning. We also have an upcoming new kiosk component model, which is specifically designed for kiosk terminal integration. So stay tuned for announcements on that.
Thank you, Samantha. Now we will now move on to the more technical questions. So for the next question, will Epson consider to develop products with more peripheral support? So for this question, maybe we have Chicken to answer it.
Thank you, Edward. Yes, we have a wide lineup from basic to more advanced POS printers. An example is our tablet POS printers, the newly launched TM-M32 hub that can support a variety of peripherals such as your customer display as well as barcode scanners.
Thank you, Chicken. So for our next question, will Epson consider wall mount features for your T82X and also T81-3 printers? Chicken, please.
Right. Basically, wall mount is not supported for T82X and T81-3. However, we are looking into the design aspect for the successor model. Currently, our other models such as TM-T82-3 and TM-M32 series, as well as the TM-T86 do support wall mount features.
Thank you. So for our next question, why do users face cutter problems such as auto cutter jam? CK, maybe you'd like to explain this?
Alright, I think this is a very common question as well. Basically, cutter errors may occur due to two possible factors: the paper quality itself as well as the level of humidity in the environment. So if the printer is placed in an area that has a high humidity for a very long time, it may affect the cutter. This applies to most of the brands as well. But otherwise, under normal circumstances, our printer cutter is very reliable. Hope it answers your questions.
Thank you, Chicken. So for our very last frequently asked question, what does Epson's warranty cover? And how are the parts availability like?
All right.
Chicken, maybe you'd like to answer this?
Yeah, sure. So our warranty covers repairs as well as labor charges if the printer malfunctions are within the warranty period. The parts are available for not just our lineup and printers, but also for the EL models for up to 5 years. So in the case there's a need to wait for the special parts or the not so common parts, and timeline is very crucial for you, please feel free to approach our friendly country Epson sales representative who can check on the feasibility of loan units. Of course, to note that this is subject to availability. Right?
Thank you, Chicken.
Thank you,
So we would like to actually pause a while over here to actually encourage any one of you who would like to ask more questions with regards to our POS printer. Yeah. Feel free to actually ask any questions that you have in mind. Okay, so we will just pause here for another 30 seconds, to encourage any questions. If not, we will move on. Yeah, so we understand that maybe not everyone is comfortable to ask questions in the live chat. So no worries. If you have any questions, feel free to either to email your local representative or approach any one of us. Yeah, we will be happy to answer it. So thank you everyone for attending this webinar today. So like what I mentioned earlier, don't worry, if you have any questions, you can actually still approach your respective Epson representative, which will answer your question after this webinar. So once again, thank you for taking your time to attend this webinar. Now, before we conclude this webinar, we will appreciate if you could scan the QR code on your screen right now and share your feedback with us so that we can know what to improve for our next webinar. Okay, thank you everyone. So once again, in the meantime, do stay safe and keep well. We'll see you in our next webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.